Welcome everyone to another lunchtime yoga. We will take a minute to get settled. As always, this practice is perfectly appropriate for anybody. Don't have to have a yoga practice to do it. We won't get sweaty. So you can do this during your lunchtime and head back to work, whether that's at an office or at home, and not have to worry about changing. We'll keep it slow. We'll keep it nice and low to the ground. We'll stand up a little bit, but not too much. And the most important thing for you to do throughout the practice is just to breathe. If you do nothing else but lay down on the floor, on a blanket, on a towel, on a mat, whatever you got, if all you do is breathe for an hour, that's awesome. You've done the whole class perfectly. No expectation to have to move. And as always, if something doesn't feel good, don't do it. We will start on our backs. And you have options here when you come down to your back. Knees can stay bent, or you can let your legs go long. If you keep your knees bent, another option is to allow your knees to fall in on one another. Whatever option you take, roll your shoulders beneath you. Take a nice deep inhale, and then go ahead and close your eyes as you exhale. We'll begin the practice as we begin every yoga practice by tuning into the breath. Just take a moment to observe your breath. Might be fast or slow. Might be smooth or choppy. Notice the temperature of your breath as it enters into your body, and then the temperature as it exits your body. Tune into the physical sensation of breathing. On your inhales, your belly expands, your rib cage and your lungs grow wider, your chest also grows taller. And then when you exhale, notice how everything softens. On your inhales, let yourself get nice and big. Full inhale. Exhale, let everything release, soften. And then at the very bottom of that exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. See if you can release just a tiny bit more air. And then continue, long, slow inhales. Full, deep exhales. As you're focusing on your breath, start to scan your body for any tension. Check in with the space between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw, maybe wiggle it side to side. Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. If you find any other tension anywhere else, see if you could relax that tension. Let yourself be soft. Just a few more rounds of breath here. Coming into the body. Coming into your space wherever you're at. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Open your eyes, coming back into your space. And just take a moment to check in with your eyes open. When you're ready, if your knees aren't bent already, go ahead and bend your knees, feet flat on the mat, and then you're gonna hug your left knee in toward your chest. You can clasp behind the left leg, you can clasp on top of the left leg, whatever's most comfortable for you. And just notice where your knee is at in relation to your chest. Doesn't have to be there, but just notice. That left foot, doesn't matter if it's flexed or if it's loose. And then start to make circles with that knee. So you're gonna feel the upper thigh bone in the hip socket. You're just making gentle circles here. They don't have to be big, they don't have to be fast. And then switch directions, circle the opposite way. And come back to stillness. Bring your right or left hand on top of your left knee, right arm out to the side, and then take that left knee out to the left. You don't have to go too far. One of our first stretches of the practice. Let it be easy. Take one more inhale, exhale, come back to center, hug that knee in toward your chest. See if it's gotten any closer. If it hasn't, that's okay. If your right knee is on the mat still, or rather bent, go ahead and keep it that way, or you have the option here, you can take that leg long. You're gonna bring your right hand to your left knee, left arm out to the side, and then you're gonna bring that left knee over the center of your body, but don't go further than your right shoulder. Just a gentle stretch for the outside of the left leg here. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Go ahead and give that knee a squeeze one more time. And then release both legs long to the mat and pause for a moment. Notice how your left leg feels compared to your right. Maybe notice any space you've created, any new sensations. And we'll do the other side. You can go ahead and bend both knees here. And then hug your right knee in toward your chest. Notice where your knee is in comparison to your chest. Maybe compare how this side is versus the other side. Maybe this knee's a little closer, maybe it's a little bit further away. Go ahead and start to make circles with your knee. Again, they don't need to be big or fast. Switch direction. And then come back to stillness at center. Give that knee a hug. Right hand on top of right knee, left arm out to the side, and go ahead and take that right knee out to the right. And then bring it back to center. Give that knee a squeeze again toward your chest. Has it gotten any closer? Does it feel like it's a little bit closer to your chest, even if it doesn't look that way? Feel free to keep your left knee bent here, or you can extend it. You're gonna take your left hand to your right knee, right arm out to the side, and then take that left knee over the center of your body, but not any further than that left shoulder. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Give that knee a squeeze toward your chest one more time. And then go ahead and release both legs long to the mat and pause. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Then go ahead and bend both knees here. You're going to clasp your forearms above your chest. Let's start with the right forearm on top of the left. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, drop both elbows over to the right. They might not touch down to the floor, that's okay. Gonna do a little work in the upper back, in the shoulders, and in the chest. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, come back up to center. Inhale at center. Exhale, drop your elbows over to the left. One more inhale. Exhale, back up to center. And then you're going to send both forearms up toward your forehead. They can stay here. This is perfect. Or if you'd like, you can take them above your head, maybe bringing them down to the floor behind you. And allow your breath to really fill your chest here. One more inhale like this. Exhale, bring your forearms back over your chest. And then we're going to swap it out. So left forearm will come on top of right forearm this time. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your elbows over to the left. One more inhale. Exhale, back up to center. Inhale here, and then exhale, both elbows over to the right. So if you ever get really sore in that space between your shoulder blades, you could do something like this and maybe put a tennis ball in that space between your shoulder blades. It'll give you a little bit of a massage. Might help relax some of the tension there. Inhale, back up to center. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, forearms to your forehead or over your head. Another option too is you can put those tennis balls in a sock and you could press your back against the wall and have the balls in that space in your shoulder blades and just apply some pressure. It might help release some of the tension you feel there. Now, especially for those of us who work at a computer all day, we hunch and that can really cause some tension there, but tennis balls can help. Movement like this can really help. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your forearms back up to center. Go ahead and release your arms down by your side. We're going to come back to the legs here. Cross your left ankle on top of your right. Keep that left ankle flexed. So staying here is perfect. We're going for a stretch in the left hip, anywhere in the left hip. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you want a little bit more stretch, you're going to hug that right knee in toward your chest. You can clasp your hands under your right thigh. Listen to your body and what it's asking of you. Don't push too hard. But if a little extra tension feels good, go ahead and do it. And wherever you're at, make sure your breath is smooth and steady. If your right foot is off the mat, go ahead and bring it back down. Keep this set up. So left ankle on top of right knee. Keep this, and then you're just going to drop everything over to the right. So that left foot is going to come outside your right leg. Coming into a really gentle twist here. Back stays on the mat. Your lower back might not be on the mat, and that's okay. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, come back up to center. uncross that left ankle from on top of your right leg, and then you're going to drop that left knee out to the left. So your left leg, the outer left leg, is going to be on the mat. You're going to thread that left foot under your right leg. So the stretch is going to be at the top of the left thigh. You can stay right here if this is enough for you. Or if you'd like, you can reach for that left foot with your right hand and maybe draw it toward your right hip. If you have any knee pain here, back off. But feeling sensation in the front of the thigh is exactly what we're going for. Take one more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and bring that left knee back up beside your right. And we're going to do the same 3 moves on the other side. So cross that right ankle on top of your left knee. Stay right here if this is enough for that right hip. Or feel free to hug that left knee in toward your chest. Smooth and steady breath here. If your left foot is off the mat, start to bring it back. Keep this entire setup. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, drop everything over to the left. So that right foot comes outside the left leg. Making our way into a gentle twist here. And again, if the low back is off the mat, that's okay. Take one more inhale, exhale, come back up to center. Go ahead and uncross your right ankle from on top of your left knee, and then drop that right knee to the right. So the outside of your right leg is on the mat, and then you're gonna thread that right foot under your left thigh. Stay here if this is enough sensation for the front of your right leg, or you can reach for that right foot and maybe pull it toward your left hip with your left hand. Take one more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and release. Bring that right foot next to your left, both knees bent, and pause. Nice deep inhale. Full exhale. And then slowly make your way to your most comfortable side and just let yourself rest for a breath or two. When you're ready, press yourself up into a seated position. Legs can be long or crossed, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment just to wiggle side to side. Get yourself nice and firm, connecting your sits bones to the earth. When you're ready, reach both arms up. Inhale. Exhale, right hand outside right hip, left arm reaches up, and then go ahead and lean to your right. So this will be a stretch of the left side body. You can bend that right elbow as much as you'd like, or you can walk that right hand out. One more inhale here. Exhale, bring both arms back up to center. Inhale here. Exhale, left arm, left hand outside left side of your hip. And then reach on over to your left. One more inhale here. Exhale, both arms back up to center. And then go ahead and fold forward. If your legs are long, that's okay. Hands will come outside your legs. And you don't have to go far here. Most important is to let your head and your neck be heavy. Maybe shake your head no, nod a yes. And take one more inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back in. We're going to come up to hands and knees, but you're going to sit back on your heels. If this isn't comfortable, that's okay. You can stay seated. We're going to work on our wrists a little bit. So you'll just have to adjust where your body weight is, whatever option you take. So we're going to start with our hands in front of us, fingers spread nice and wide. And then you're going to turn your right hand to go the opposite way. So your wrist will face forward, fingers toward you. And this is where you have some options. You can put more pressure. You can lean your body weight a little bit more forward to give you some extra weight there, but don't go too hard. So we're just stretching in the opposite direction that we usually keep our wrists. So again, if you're at a computer all day, these sorts of wrist exercises can be really helpful. A couple more rounds of breath here. One more inhale, exhale, go ahead and release. And we're going to do the opposite hands. This time, left hand, wrist will face away from you, fingers toward you. And again, you have the option to add a little bit more pressure, just depending where you put your body and the weight that you can put on that wrist. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. We're going to do one more set of wrist stretches here. And this one could be really tough. So be gentle with yourself. You're going to bring the back of your hand to the floor, fingers toward you. So don't go too far, too hard here. Sensation is good, pain is not. One more inhale. Exhale, release. We'll do the other side, back of your left hand to the floor, fingers toward you. One more inhale, exhale, release. And then go ahead and sit back on your heels if you're on your knees, or you could sit all the way down. And then you're just going to make some circles with your wrists. Wake them back up after those stretches. Just make sure you circle both directions. And let's come back to seated. Let's do a little neck stretch here before we move a little bit more. Go ahead and drop your chin toward your chest and roll your right ear toward your right shoulder. Feel the stretch along the left side of your neck here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your chin toward your right collarbone. So your gaze is toward your right shoulder. Stretching out the back of the neck now. One more inhale, exhale, right ear comes back toward your right shoulder, and then roll your chin down toward your chest. Pause here. Next, inhale, left ear toward the left shoulder. Bring your chin toward your left collarbone, peek at your left shoulder. Roll your left ear back toward your left shoulder and then your chin down toward your chest. Take your palms to your forehead to your palms, and you're going to apply equal pressure both ways. So this will bring some tension to the back of your neck, creating a bit of traction, some sensation. One more inhale. Exhale, release the tension of your forehead into your palms, and then just gently use your palms to bring your head to the top of your spine and release. Let's make our way to hands and knees in a tabletop position. If you want cushioning under your knees, a blanket is great. Or if you've got a towel or a mat, you can just fold up the edges. You give yourself a little extra support if you need it. So for tabletop, your knees will be bent, hips will be right over your knees, fingers spread nice and wide, shoulders over your wrists. You want your index fingers in line with the long edge of your mat. You should feel nice and stable here. So we're going to move our spine a little bit. On an inhale, lower your belly, lift your chin and your tail. This is cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin and your tail, and press the mat away from you for cat pose. Inhale, lower your belly, lift your chin and your tail. Exhale, round your spine, tucking your chin and your tail. One more round. Inhale, lower your belly, lift your chin and your tail. Exhale, round your spine. And then from here, return to your tabletop. And we're just going to make figure eights. You can't do this wrong. Listen to your body. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your hips back toward your heels. And then up toward your shoulders. So you can make an 8-like motion here, or make any other sort of motion that makes sense in your body or feels really good right now. And then go ahead and go the opposite direction. When you feel even, come back to stillness. Bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees out wide. Sink your hips back toward your heels. And then go ahead and walk your arms out in front of you. Forehead can come to the mat. If that's not comfortable, you can make fists here. Child's pose. Wherever you're at, come up to your fingertips here. So hips will stay exactly the same. You're going to slide that right arm under your left, and then you're just going to come down on the left side of your face. Might come to the floor or your mat or your towel. Might just hang out on top of your right shoulder. That's okay. Take one more inhale, exhale, come back to center. And then we're going to do the opposite side. So left arm comes under your right, and then slowly come down to the left side of your face, either to the mat or on top of your left shoulder. Take one more inhale, exhale back to center, and then you're going to come back up to your tabletop. So fingers spread nice and wide. Check in with your index fingers. Whenever we put pressure onto our hands, we want that pressure to be in the L of the left hand, so in that space between your index finger and your thumb, and the J of your right hand. So again, index finger, thumb. We won't be on our wrists too much longer. When you're ready, tuck your toes here. Like we did in that cow pose, lower your belly, lift your hips. And then you're gonna lift your knees and send your hips all the way up toward the sky. Knees can stay nice and bent. Heels off the mat is fine. What's important is that your head and your neck are heavy and your hips are nice and high. If you'd like, you can move your legs, you can bend them. You can shift your hips side to side here. Any movement that feels good. If you're moving, come back to stillness. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth side out. We'll do that again. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth side out. Inhale, look forward between your hands. Exhale completely. And then start to walk your feet up toward your hands. It's okay if they don't make it. What's important is you bend your knees and let your spine be nice and heavy here. Hands might be on the floor. Maybe you clasp your elbows. You're welcome to rock side to side here. Let all of your tension and worry, all the doubt and anxiety you might be feeling, let it fall out the top of your head. If your hands are clasped, go ahead and release them. And on an inhale, bring your palms to your shins with a flat back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, come on up with a flat back. Exhale, fold. One more time, palms to your shins, flat back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Go ahead and reach your arms up toward the sky. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to combine all those movements into half sun salutations. This will be the most active part of the practice. Do what you feel, what feels good in your body, or don't do it at all. When you're ready, peek down at your feet. Just make sure they're hip width. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, palms to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Do it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do one more round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and release your arms. Take a look down at your feet. If you've got on socks or shoes and can't see your feet, imagine what they look like. Go ahead and lift up all of your toes and then set them down one at a time. Bring your weight into the front of your feet. Bring your weight into the back of your feet. And come right to center. Lean a little bit to your left. Lean a little bit to your right. And then come right to center. If your eyes are open, go ahead and close them. And we're going to start to engage all the muscles in our body. Start by feeling your feet in the earth, that connection between the two of them, and then draw that energy up. So engage your calf muscles, engage your thigh muscles, engage your glutes. Draw your navel toward your spine. Roll your shoulders up toward your ears and then down. Reach your fingertips toward the ground. Feel the strength in your body here as all of your muscles are engaged. Matched with the ease and softness of your breath. This is mountain pose. Mountain pose is the blueprint for all the standing poses, and it's a really powerful pose. It doesn't look like you're doing anything, but with everything engaged, you're doing a whole lot here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and open up your eyes, release. So we'll do just a couple standing poses before we sit back down. And we're going to start by crossing the left leg, the left foot over the right foot. So they're not going to be in line. They might be pretty far apart. That's okay. Bend both your knees here. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, spine gets nice and long. Exhale, you're going to start to fold forward. Knees can stay bent. Hands might come to the floor. They might not. That's okay. If they don't, and leaving them dangled doesn't feel good, you can bring them to your hips. So this is a stretch for the low back. Kind of similar to one we did when we were on our backs. And again, feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back up. Uncross that left foot and just pause at center for a moment. We'll do the other side. This time, cross your right foot over your left. Bend both your knees here. Inhale, spine gets nice and long. Exhale, start to fold forward. And hands can come to the floor. They can dangle or you can bring them to your hips. Take one more inhale, exhale, back up to center. Uncross that right foot. And again, pause at center. So we're going to do a balance here. And you'll have a few options. So start by bringing your hands up overhead. Clasp your hands, index fingers point up. And then you're going to lean over to your right. Stay right here. This is perfect. If you want to challenge your balance, you're going to bring your weight into that right foot. Maybe your left foot will float. Take it out to the side. Maybe you take that left foot behind your right, kind of like you're in a slack line. It's okay to fall out of a balance. I'm struggling a little bit today. That's okay. And if you're choosing not to balance here, that's perfectly fine. This is a nice side body stretch. We'll take one more inhale wherever you're at. Exhale, come back to center, both feet on the floor. Go ahead, release your arms. Maybe shake out that right leg. Inhale, reach both arms up. Clasp your hands, index fingers point toward the sky, and then go ahead and lean to your left. Stay right here, or bring your weight into that left leg. Maybe that right leg floats. Maybe it comes behind you. So always listen to your body and what it's saying. One more inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and release. So we're gonna come back down to our seat, but we'll get there going through downward dog again. So wherever you're at, just make sure you're somewhere near the front of your mat. Sweep your arms up, get nice and long. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms on the mat, and then step your right foot back, your left foot back, and send your hips up toward the sky. Go ahead and take your feet out nice and wide. Knees can stay bent, but if you can straighten them even better, we're just gonna shift from side to side. So you'll feel this in your hips. Take one more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and bring your knees down to the mat. Untuck your toes and sit back on your heels. So we'll pause here for a moment. Just notice what you're feeling. As importantly, notice your breath here. Might be a little bit faster than normal. Might be exactly the same. When you're ready, come up to your knees. You're gonna send your right foot out to the right, toes in line with your left knee. So your right hand is gonna come outside that right leg, left arm reaches up, inhale here, get nice and long. Exhale, lean to your right. So we get another side body stretch. Just make sure that your shoulder doesn't crash up toward your ear. See if you can relax it down. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring both arms up to center. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, take that left arm to the left. Right arm is gonna reach over to the left. Feel that long line of energy from your right pinky finger all the way through the middle of your right middle finger. One more inhale here. If you've got the strength, you can come back up using your core. If not, walk your hands back to center. And we're gonna switch knees. So right knee comes under your hip. Left knee out to the side, come back up. Left hand outside, left knee, right arm reaches up, inhale. Exhale, lean to your left. One more inhale, exhale, both arms to center. Inhale here. Exhale, right hand outside, right leg, left arm reaches over to the right. One more inhale. Exhale, if you've got the strength in your core, come all the way up. Otherwise, walk your hands back in front of you. Go ahead and bend both your knees. And then swing your legs over to one side. You're coming back to your seat. Extend your right leg long. Your left foot will be inside your right thigh. And then keep that right foot engaged. So like you're standing on something. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, navel toward that straight leg, and then keep your spine long as you fold forward. Hands are gonna go wherever hands go, it doesn't matter. What's more important is your spine is nice and long. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands back in. And then we'll switch sides. So left leg goes long. Right foot inside your left thigh. Engage that left foot. So like you're standing on something. Reach both arms up, inhale. Exhale, navel toward the straight leg, spine nice and long, and go ahead and fold. Again, hands go where hands go, doesn't matter. It's more important that your spine stays nice and long. Take one more inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back in. You're going to keep your right leg exactly as it is. You're going to lean onto your right hip and send that left leg behind you. So your toes might be pointing behind you. They might be out to the side. That's okay. Just make sure that your knee feels okay. Your hips might be a little uneven, also okay. Inhale, reach your arms up here. Exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So your left hand will come outside your right knee, right hand next to you. What's most important is the same thing that was important when we were folding. Spine stays nice and long. More important, your spine is long, then you can go super deep. Find your smooth and your steady breath. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center, and we're going to switch. So this time the left leg is going to come in front, right leg behind. Might not be even, that's okay. Inhale, reach both arms up, get nice and long. Exhale, twist to your left, left hand behind you, right hand to your knee. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. And we're going to come down to our spines one more time. No fancy way to get there. Just give yourself enough room that your legs can be long. And feel free to let your legs be long to start, or you could bend your knees. Once again, we're just going to let our spine settle into the mat for a moment. If your legs are long, go ahead and bend them. Both feet will be flat to the floor, and then you're going to walk your feet in toward your glutes. You want your feet hip width, no wider. And then you're going to roll your shoulders underneath you, so your chest will puff up here. And then you're going to press the small of your back into the mat. Your hips will start to lift. Go ahead and allow them to lift. What's most important here, hug your thighs toward one another. This is bridge pose, it's a back bend. Doesn't matter how deep you go, what's more important is those thighs hug toward one another. We hear just a couple rounds of breath. Take one more inhale. Exhale, you're going to lower down one vertebra at a time. Nice and slow until your entire spine is down on the mat. We're going to do that one more time. So if you need to reset your feet, roll your shoulders underneath you again. Start by pressing the small of your back into the mat. Feel your hips lift, and then go ahead and continue to lift your spine up. Hug your thighs toward one another. One more inhale, exhale, lower down one vertebra at a time until your whole spine is down on the mat. Couple rounds of breath here. And then bring the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall out wide here. Feet could be close to your body, they could be far away. Whatever feels best to you right now. Few more rounds of breath. And then bring your hands to the outsides of your thighs. Bring your knees back up together. So we're going to get ready to go to Shavasana, our final resting pose. But before we do that, go ahead and hug your knees in toward your chest. If you'd like, make any movement here. So you can rock side to side. You can bring your knees up toward your armpits if that feels good. You can make circles with your knees. Use these last couple moments to just get out any final movements. If you're doing something like circling your knees or circling your spine, switch directions. And then make your way to stillness. Take a nice deep inhale with your knees toward your chest. Exhale, press your forehead up toward your knees. Stretch out the back of your neck. And then go ahead and release all of your limbs down to the mat. Setting up for Shavasana, our final resting pose. The pose where we do nothing. If you'd like any blankets or need to get cozier, feel free to take a moment and do that. This is a pose where you're supposed to do nothing and feel nice and relaxed. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth, side out. We'll do that again. Deepest inhale you've taken all day through your nose. Open mouth, let it go. Feel your front body as it softens into your back body. And your back body as it softens into the earth. If your eyes are still open, go ahead and close them. And we'll do one more round of breath here. Take a nice deep inhale, deepest you've taken all week long. Fill up here. Open mouth, let it go. Notice as your limbs grow heavy, your eyelids and your breath grow light. And allow yourself to completely drift away here. I'll be here with you. And when it's time to come back to your body, I will bring you back. Allow yourself to completely drift away. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring movement back into your fingers and your toes. Maybe make small circles with your wrists and your ankles. And reach your arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch. Bend your knees and gently roll to your most comfortable side and let your whole body rest. When you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, press yourself back up into a seated position, letting your head and your neck arrive last at the top of your spine. When you're ready, bring your right hand to heart center, left hand on top of your right, pausing in this gesture of compassion to honor your efforts, to honor the time that you've given to yourself, and to digest the effects of the practice. When you're ready, bring your hands in front of your heart. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice this afternoon. Have a great day. Have a safe and healthy weekend. Namaste until next week. Stay well.